I think that most countries that grow economically, especially if they become economically really powerful, translate that economic might into military might. I would argue that if China's economy continues to grow over the next 30 years, much the way it has over the past 3 decades, that they will translate much of that economic might into military might. Just the way the United States has done as it's grown over time. Well, I think that the Chinese will spend a lot of money on their Navy. They'll develop very sophisticated ballistic missiles and cruise missiles. I think they'll significantly improve their nuclear deterrent. And I would be surprised if they also don't build up their army. So I think that their sort of traditional military capabilities will increase significantly over time if the economy continues to grow, which is not to say that they'll lose interest in cyberspace or other, forms of power. But they'll devote a lot of attention, in my opinion, to building military power, traditional military power. Well, I think their history over the past 150 years really matters to them. I think the Chinese are filled with resentment over how they have been treated over the past century and a half. I think they feel that when they were weak, the European great powers, the Americans and the Japanese all took advantage of them and did terrible things in China. And I think they're very angry about that, and I think they're deeply committed to making sure that it never happens again. I think that the United States has pretty much handled things correctly up to now. I support President Obama's pivot to Asia. I think it was very important for the United States to signal to its allies in Asia that we would be there for them. As a result of our foolish policies over the past decade or so, many of our Asian allies have come to question whether or not the United States is a reliable partner and whether or not they can depend on the United States to help them deal with China. I think that the whole idea of pivoting to Asia was a smart way of signaling that we are serious about a potential China threat and we'll be there if you, the South Koreans, or you, the Japanese, need us. At the same time, we have not shifted huge numbers of troops or forces to the Asia-Pacific region, and I think that's all for the good. I don't think that's essential at this point in time. But I think basically our policy with regard to the Asia-Pacific region has so far been smart. So I have sort of nothing to add at this point in time.